my baby, hello, my honey, hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss by wire. Baby, my heart's on...
Never fear, Smith is here.
Go ahead and tell me the story, Danny, about
It'll be about 3 minutes.
about the
right?
Johnny Smith, how you learned about the Johnny Smith system.
Okay. About 30-some years ago, a couple of friends and I had a small group at Monmouth that we were there every day for the whole meet. And there was an elderly man, well, at that time he was about 60 years old, he was an ex-fighter and a bar owner from Brooklyn. Great guy, John Smith. And his wife would just go her own way and sit with her girlfriends. She was a pretty middle-aged lady. And he hardly ever bet, and if he did, he bet $2. It was just his to come to the track with the boys, swap stories. Great guy. And we would sometimes buy him lunch, but he was a great guy. So one day, a bunch of us liked a horse at Monmouth. I don't remember the details of the race, but they're coming down the stretch, and we've got the lead, and I think it was the second part of a double. And it was a 6-7-1, something like that. And we're counting our money before he hits the line. But all of a sudden, a blur comes on the outside, and we're outside. We can't tell if he beat us or not. So we sprint inside to the camera to see the instant rerun. And sure enough, it looks like this horse beats us on the line by 3-4 inches. But we knew we lost.
Big
So
price?
Yeah, it was about a $16 horse also. So we go outside, and a few minutes later, here comes our old man Johnny Smith friend, because we're fairly young at the time. I'm like maybe, say, 36. And all of a sudden, he's counting right in front of us like this, 20, 25, 30. I said, Smitty, what'd you do? You hit that winner? He says, yeah, I hit him. I said, really, right? That's great. You never bet more than $2. He says, yeah, I did this time. All right. We never asked him why or anything like that. He won. Great for him. Maybe so long ago, 10 days after that, something like that, there's another race. We didn't have anything in the race or anything like that. But all of a sudden, they're going over the finish line, and there's Smitty with the finger snap. All of a sudden, I look up, and this horse is 10-1. He says, I got him. Well, there he comes back, and he had like $5 or $10 on the horse, and he's counting his money. So I said, Smitty. The guys weren't even listening. I said, Smitty, great, you had a horse, but most races you don't bet, and if you do, you bet $2. On these horses, you had at least 5 on the first one and 5 or 10. It's none of my business, but was there anything that you saw? And he says, now a couple of guys are sort of listening also. And he looks over and he's really giving it to us. He says, well, with the New York accent, he says, you guys just think he's so smart. You don't know. Look at the paper. Look at the paper. He says, Danny, Nani, they used to call me. You know almost everything about it. Look at the paper. What do you see on this here horse? I'm looking. I see a horse. He's been running fourth. If it wasn't a horror show, but nothing jumped. No, well, Lasix wasn't even around there, but no trainer change, no huge jockey change. And he says, yeah, you're looking in the wrong place. Look down below at the workouts. And I said, well, he's got like a long workout here. And he says, of course. Don't you know that horses with 1 mile workouts never lose? I says, they never lose. Well, once in a while, but it's the best thing in racing. Didn't you ever notice the Joykins use it in New York? I said, no, not really. Well, I researched. At those days, I had racing forms going back to the year -3. Jesus was on the cover of one. And I'm looking through, and I found something like doing New York, New Jersey, and I think Maryland. I don't remember if I did Florida. Remember, there was nowhere I would look things up on computers or anything. And I found something like 17 or 18 mile workouts, quite a 6 or 7 at Monmouth, and it was unbelievable. It was like 10 winners, 3 or 4 seconds, and some good prices. And I said, well, it's not the greatest sample in the world, but it's pretty impressive. Well, I put together a system using Johnny Smith. I've been using it for 35 years, and all I can tell you is with a few little tinkers to rules, not too many, we run about 70% profit, flat win profit. We've had 2 or 3 horses over $100, several 50 and 60s over the years. But like anything, I've had stretches. I remember one day a friend of mine got on the system. We had 2 or 3 $20 horses one day. He got it. The next day there were 5. They all lost. And of course he never used it again. Of course the next day we had 2 $53 horses. But Johnny is the real Johnny Smith. He's still alive. He's 95 years old. And that's how we came up with it. And let me tell you something, it works.
That's a great story, Danny. You want to plug your website? What's your website?
I have no idea.
Don't you have a website where they go
yeah,
to?
it goes through a company called Post Time Solutions, and that's
They
their
can Google that, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
that's
through
all.
that they can get all my stuff. But I don't even have a computer. I don't even have email. I had to dial phone until 5 years ago.
All right,
I
fans.
do
This is
everything.
Dan Sara from down at the Palace Station, Las Vegas, Nevada. That's the casino where OJ screwed up.
Yep.
So he just wanted to pass along to you the story of Johnny Smith, and that's it.
That's pretty good.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.